For nearly 50 years, Dolphin Marine Magic has been putting on dolphin shows like this one, at least twice a day. It advertises its dolphins are happy and healthy, and for the tourists who pay for dolphin kisses, it might be hard to imagine otherwise. But activists allege that claiming the dolphins are happy and healthy amounts to misleading and deceptive conduct, and wants that proven in a federal circuit court.
Australia for Dolphins is bringing a legal action under Australian consumer law. We believe they're misleading people by saying statements like dolphins are happy and healthy in captivity, when in reality they're suffering from cancer and dying young.
They argue dolphins can never be happy in captivity.
Bobbing up and down on the surface of the water, repeatedly swimming around their tanks or grating their teeth against the side of the pool, and these are all signs that they're suffering in captivity. So while happiness is a very subjective term, we can say with clarity that these dolphins are really paying a very high price for our entertainment.
It's really difficult for any of us to know what it feels like to be a dolphin.
While happiness is difficult to prove, the RSPCA says it's clear captivity is bad for dolphins.
When we look at their environment, it's restricted and it's relatively barren compared to the wild. And when we look at their behaviour, we see that there's lots of things that they can't do in a captive environment.
I personally can't say that they're happy and healthy. I can't even tell you if my dog is happy or healthy.
It's not the first time Dolphin Marine Magic has been targeted by activists, but they say their dolphins are looked after well.
We keep records of all of our animals' cortisol levels, and we maintain that they're in good health. In the recent times, we've had an independent vet come up and assess our animals, and he found no problems. And we've been investigated by the RSPCA as well.
Nonetheless, the bid to use consumer law to haul them before court has won high-profile backing.
This pool is to be condemned for promoting this notion that the dolphins are happy and healthy. Well, how does anyone know?
As Environment Minister in the 80s, Bob Carr banned the capture of wild dolphins, effectively shutting down most of New South Wales dolphin marinas.
If you spend a few minutes reading about dolphins and their capacity to travel through the water for vast distances and to suddenly dive very deep to identify an object on the bottom of the ocean, and I just think it's inherently cruel to confine in small pools animals with this sort of celebratory attitude towards existence.
They point to the 2015 death of baby Jai Ling as further proof the dolphins aren't happy, and allege it contradicts the park's advertised high standard of care.
He swallowed metal and litter that was in his pool, and a trainer shoved his hand down the dolphin's throat and he suffered from a heart attack.
They allege documents obtained under Freedom of Information show Dolphin Marine Magic tried to withhold Jai Ling's post-mortem from the regulator, fearing bad publicity.
If they have nothing to hide, why wouldn't they provide that particular autopsy? And it really raises questions as to the level of care that is going on at the park.
Because of the threatened legal action, I'm not going to talk about that.
While the New South Wales Veterinary Board investigates that incident, other claims made by the park are being targeted as well. It advertises pools meet or exceed legal minimums, but one pool is 20% smaller than the legal standard and only allowed to operate with a variation to their licence.
The standards have been changed for that variation, and we meet those standards.
For the dolphin activists, it's all part of a much wider plan.
This particular case is part of a wider agenda in terms of phasing out dolphin captivity in Australia. It will bolster our efforts to pass legislation to ban dolphin captivity here in Australia, and it will help all global efforts to ban dolphin captivity overseas as well.
As momentum builds worldwide to free dolphins from tanks.
I would have thought we'd grown up by now and would have got over getting some sort of amusement from seeing these great creatures installed in small pools.
We're clean. We don't do anything wrong.
As a kid growing up, and even, when I've taken my kids to places where there's been, dolphins like that, and they provide so much joy, and then straight away my immediate feeling is one of feeling uncomfortable about, are they suffering, are they uncomfortable? Like, it's just, that would be the last thing you'd want just for our enjoyment.
Yeah, and it's also, like, in a way, dolphins suffer from looking happy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There are certain
and
animals
noises
that kind of
and
yeah.
You could say it for any caged animal in any zoo, you know what I mean? It's exactly the same.